As drummers, we face all sorts of difficulties and challenges in our day-to-day lives, usually relating to underwear or legal aid at 3 AM in the morning. However, not only do we have the problem of having to store our instruments and taking up valuable space at home, once we've got that sorted out, we've actually then got to get the drum kit from home or wherever we store it to the gig or the studio. And this causes all sorts of problems, especially if you happen to be in the family way and you've got to get some sort of compromised vehicle, when really what you want is something, well, dedicated. What wheels should you have as a drummer? Well, I've been lucky because I've never been married. No one would have me. Bachelor is a man who never makes the same mistake once. I've got no kids, well, none that I know of. So anything I need to cart around is me and my drums, so makes sense to get something of a decent size and capacity. And it's taken me and other bands all over Europe, many thousands of miles. Only one problem once, when the exhaust dropped off in Italy, but sack the kids and the wife or partner or whatever, get yourself a proper sized van. There's all sorts of advantages. There's the commanding driving position over the other plebs on the road, throw the gear in the back, throw the band in the middle. And when you're not off to your superstar gig, you can use the back as a box store and a repository for spare drum shells. Actually, the back of the van is much more multi-purpose than you'd imagine. It's not just for putting cargo in or storing empty boxes. It's actually a really good boxing station. I reverse it up to the front of the workshop, put a box in there, put the drums in, seal it all up, and then it goes straight out to wherever I need to drop it. And if there's a courier that needs to come to pick it up, I just reverse my van up to the back of his, open the doors, straight over. There's a lot to be said for it, you know, having a van like this instead of a little Euro blob. Well, there you go. Irrefutable and conclusive evidence that you can't argue with. You need a big diesel-driven van. And don't be taken in by these people who want you to buy a glorified milk float. In a few years' time, they'll be telling us how evil electricity is. I remember having a car, and it was running on leaded petrol. Then they said, oh no, leaded petrol is evil, it's evil, you've got to change to unleaded. So I had to pay to have my car converted to unleaded. Then a few years later they went, oh, unleaded, that's still pretty evil, that you need a catalytic converter. So more money, more money. A few years after that, I was told, diesel is the fuel of the future. You must go diesel. So I went diesel. And we were sold on the basis that it's cheaper. Well, suddenly it wasn't cheap, it was much more expensive, which is a bit curious because as far as I know, diesel, the manufacture thereof, is a byproduct of making petroleum spirit. I might be wrong, I usually am. And the other thing is, we were told we could run them on anything, really, old chip fat. That was brilliant. You get the benefit of smelling of burger and chips and fish and Savoys and everything. Win-win. That didn't work out because the moment Her Majesty's government realised that people were using old chip fat for powering the cars, they went, oh, that's fuel. Slap some fuel duty on that. And which made that sort of recycling totally useless. I think they're taking us all for a ride and making us pay for it. The choice is yours. If you've been affected by any of the issues raised in this programme, buy yourself a big bag of donuts.